how do you
The power
expect me
exchange.
as a civilian, especially as a black man, to not be afraid after all the history and the things I've been told, all the stuff that's ingrained in my mind, and how you said, like the media, my parents, the shit I see on the news, you know what I mean? To not be afraid of you. So I'm panicking. You think this is because I'm doing something, or this is giving you probable cause, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you panic and you feel like I'm looking. Hate me cause I'm strong. Hate I grew up clutching crumbs in the
The
zone
power
that I'm y'all heard about they planning to ban ski masks and hoodies in Atlanta? I just want to know how y'all feel about that overall.
Hey, hold on. I ain't hear that. That's new. That's new. I
Yeah,
ain't hear that.
it on the news this morning.
Okay.
Now there was people on the news who were saying like, "Oh, that's going to lead to profiling and racism and negative confrontation with the police." You know, that argument, of course, goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, I've always said, if you're gonna sell drugs, don't dress like a dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make yourself a target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're doing something suspicious, and then also, I know this gets me a lot of hate every time I say it though. I never see a video where something happens violently with the cops where the person is complying the entire time. I get it because I was raised to hate the police. It's in me. It's a part of me. But at the same time, when I get into an altercation, well, not even an altercation, when I see the police, I just do whatever they tell me to do. And shit seems to go smoothly. Not saying they all good, not saying they all bad, but I'm just saying with this new rule, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's I
But
do think it's very overblown. Like, yeah, there nothing is an absolute. So, I mean, we
Definitely.
have over 300 million encounters with cops,
Mm-hmm.
every year. So, of course, you're going to have some bad ones, even if
Mm-hmm.
you take it down to 0.01% of that. That's still a large number, and that's still probably in the several thousands.
Yeah.
So, but I do think for the most part, in general, yeah, if you just do everything they say do, even if you feel it's unfair, you will more likely come out perfectly fine.
and
And it's not even
my
worth
bad, I ain't trying to cut you off, but I
it. Hmm.
get that. I get what y'all saying, but how y'all seen how some of these white people get away with not being
Oh yeah.
compliant? Like they
The
dang
one that
do
made me the
everything.
maddest. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I'm saying they dang near do everything but slap the cop, and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
done seen it with my own eyes, bro. I'm like,
I get that, but I believe that's also skewed by the media because that's intentional. Because what they will do, they will put up all these instances that you see happening to blacks, but what they don't show are those instances happening to whites. Now, they lead you to believe, well, it doesn't happen to white people. It absolutely does. I remember a while back, I saw a video of a cop. He was tussling with this white kid. He probably looked like 16, 17 or something like that. Very scrawny too. And after a few seconds, the cop just pulled his gun out and just shot him 7 times, dead. And
Jesus.
the kid was unarmed. I remember when we first got the law of the move over law, how like if you're going down the interstate, they want you to move over for people who's going faster than you. This happened in Noonan, just in Noonan. This white kid, he tried to flash somebody that was in front of him. He felt like he was going too slow.
Mm-hmm.
A cop was behind him, and the cop pulled him over for it. And the kid caught an attitude with the cop and ended up getting shot and killed over that incident. So these
Mm-hmm.
things definitely happen to white people, but the media skews it because it all goes back to they've monopolized black emotion. So
Mm-hmm.
they will intentionally put up all of these instances that happen with blacks, but they will intentionally hide all the instances that happen with whites. They won't say stuff like, well, actually, black cops are more likely to shoot black people than white cops. That is a fact. They won't say that though,
Mm-hmm.
because, and that makes sense. The majority of cops in black neighborhoods are black. So of
Yeah.
course you should have a higher rate of black cops shooting other blacks, but they won't talk about those. But the moment we have controversy like a white cop killing a black man, oh, that's going to make national headlines.
Right.
Absolutely, because
Yeah,
they want to keep
I
keep
get
us
the media
muzzled.
side of it. I get the media side of it, but just like actually done lived it and dealt with it, I look at that issue a little bit different, bro. Like, cause I don't hung out with white guys before, and I see how they like really talk to the cops. Like, hey man, why you pull me over? Why, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, chill,
Yeah.
chill. But they
Yeah.
used to that. And look, I'm trying to be
I
like,
seen
yes
it.
sir, no sir, but hey, just cause
Right.
whatever, hey, I gotta get out the car just cause I fit a profile, bro. Like I've dealt with that. So I get what you're
I
saying
feel
in
you.
the media, how they do push it a little bit, but I kind of done seen it too, man. So I kind of know how that jump work both ways. So
Yeah, I think it's still not worth it though. Like, because all right, let's go to the extreme and say it's 100% true. 100% no doubt, undeniable. It's still not worth it, because is sitting there trying to fight back and argue with a cop worth your life if you know even you have the slightest degree of a chance of coming out alive, because you're more likely to let him do what he does unfairly and win it in the court. Your chances of winning are much higher versus pissing him off to the point of him feeling threatened and him pulling out a gun and potentially shooting you. So
yeah.
like I had my situation, just to share a story right quick. This happened a long time ago. Like I was probably like 21, 22. We were on our way to Alabama for an anime convention. I used to work for UPS, but I got off late at night, probably about midnight. And then
Mhm.
so I went home, packed up my stuff, we left. We had to go to Carrollton. So we
Mhm.
left at like midnight. But there was this turn that I had missed. It was a four-way intersection. I had missed a turn. After the intersection, at the very top of the hill, I saw cop lights. I assumed they had already had pulled somebody over, so I wasn't too worried about it. Noticing that I missed my turn though, I made a U-turn right
Mhm.
there so I could turn right where I should have. And then shortly after I made that U-turn though, I saw another cop come out of nowhere speeding down the hill coming after me.
Mhm.
And so when I crossed back through the light, of course he pulled me over.
Mhm.
And so he started questioning me, where was I going? I told him, yeah, me and my friend were going to an anime convention. And I felt like he was kind of playing dumb just for the situation. Like, what is an anime convention? I never heard of that. But I played his game, whatever. And he even asked me to, get out of the car. So I did. And he pulled me, and then he also called for backup too.
Mhm.
I guess the other cop that was up there, he called him, told him to come down. And so the other cop comes down and he starts questioning Rolando in the passenger seat while I was behind the car. But he
Mhm.
was just asking me, what do we have in the car? Do we have any weapons and stuff? He asked me if I had any weapons on me. I said no. He asked, would you mind if I frisk you? And I actually said, yeah, if you want me, and that'll make you feel better, sure. But he didn't put his hands on me. He didn't touch me at all. He
Mhm.
did. He asked me if he could search my car. I said sure. He didn't search my car. So everything he asked that he asked permission to do, he did not do. He didn't put his hands on me. He didn't
Mhm.
search my car, and he didn't press it. I just told him everything what we were doing. He asked me what I had in the bags. They're just clothes. Like, and my friend, he has clothes and video games same way. Rolando told me later on that basically the cops were asking him the same questions. He basically did the same thing. But yeah, like he didn't. But I understand the situation too. I was aware that there was cops up front. To them, it looked suspicious to have somebody come in their direction and then randomly make a U-turn. That's
Mhm.
suspicious. I
Perception. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in my head at the very least. So, but that was a very easy situation that could have gone out of hand and possibly even got me in jail or killed. Very easy situation. But
Mhm.
that experience told me, it was like, okay, like there is definitely some truth in just complying to what they say, answer their questions, don't get defensive, stay calm. And I'm at the point that I don't even care about getting pulled over. The last several times I've been pulled over, I don't even get tickets. I just don't. because I talk to the cop like I'm talking to one of y'all. Like everything's cool, like a friend. You know, if I see a chance for a joke, I'll crack a joke, make him laugh. He comes back to my car, he just gives me a warning. And to me, I feel like that's been the best way.
I want to say something in response to that because I've been on both sides of that. So at a very young age, I had a cop randomly pull over, like swerve over, grab me. I was like 13, slam me on the back of the car. Where the dope at? This is a memory that's ingrained in my brain. And he just like started aggressively like patting my pockets, and I'm just like, I don't have any drugs. You know what I mean? He like, get the F out of here. And I'm just like, yo, what just happened? Like I was traumatized from that, like just how that happened in West End is where I was at, just walking the streets at night. I think it has a lot to do with look, the way you speak, the way you act, and nervousness. The thing about police is, and this is why I said go both ways, because they're people too. And a lot of times when people get killed, they say the cop was afraid or he was scared. How do you expect me as a civilian, especially as a black man, to not be afraid after all the history and the things I've been told, all the stuff that's ingrained in my mind, and how you said, like the media, my parents, the shit I see on the news, you know what I mean? To not be afraid of you. So I'm panicking. You think this is because I'm doing something, or this is giving you probable cause, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you panic and you feel like I'm a threat. So that's why I feel like, yeah, it's a huge part of the media, especially that's keeping us at odds. But then it's a part of our culture as well.
Yeah,
To,
I'm nervous.
police
I
is a
get
part of the
pulled
culture,
over.
like. And then I've been on the opposite side too, because just this year I've been stopped by a cop for speeding, and he didn't even give me anything. And it's because of what you said. I'm an adult now. I'm much more mature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he said, "Why you driving so fast?" And I told him the truth. I said, "Man, look, I just drove from California back to Atlanta, and I said, you see how close I am? I'm just ready to go to sleep." And he said, your pupils are dilated. You on any drugs? I said, I've drank a lot of energy drinks, and I haven't slept in a couple days. I'm just trying to go home. And he laughed. He was just like, all right, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he walked back to the car, of course, you know, he ran my license. He's just doing his job at the end of the day. And so this get me to another part of the story. I think it's lame as fuck to annoy somebody while they're at work. So this is the second part about being a cop. If you at work, just say you working as a cashier, you know what I mean? And somebody like talking shit, you like, I'm at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
Right.
people try you in those situations because you're in a professional position where you have parameters and then they're not. So I feel like that's another aspect to it as well, because being a cop is a difficult job. You can die any day. You don't know who you're going to whenever you're answering a call, whenever you answer a grievance, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
just
and see
random
that's a
F the
part
police type issue.
that's a part I think a lot of people also miss because
They don't
from
care.
from their perspective, yeah, they don't. From their perspective, and they're trained, this is part of their training as well. I've seen videos of cops being killed for
Me too.
literally not like
Yep.
Nothing.
they
Yeah,
they
the
Yep.
ticket.
Seen
The
that
they
too.
ticket.
pulled
Yeah.
all they did was pull somebody over for like a basic traffic violation. They get to the car and the guy just pulls out a gun and shoots
Yep.
them.
Start shooting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they have to watch out for that.
You
And
gotta,
I also think it's about location. I think location is the biggest part
I think that's the
because
main thing.
yeah,
Location
because
and the cop, man. I think sometimes a lot of it is just bad cops, bro. You know, every cop ain't bad, you know, but
Right.
sometimes you get a bad cop. You get a cop that's just ready to just shoot a nigga. For real. That's how they think. You know what
well,
I'm saying? It's something
in
like
certain
that.
places, especially like major cities,
Yeah.
they intentionally hire bad cops. They intentionally. This is very intentional.
Please
I know
elaborate on that.
yeah, for example, in New York,
New York, yeah.
when they're hiring cops, when cops are going through the assessment, if they score too high, they get too high of a score, they're automatically disqualified.
Yeah.
They want to keep cops at a lower level because they want dumb cops who are willing to just comply with the law and not use their own level of discernment and discretion to say, okay, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
They intentionally hire bad cops, especially in high population major cities. I would even go as far as say Atlanta is one of them.
Yeah,
But
I feel
those,
like
but
Atlanta one of them too.
yeah, but less populated cities. Like I lived in Peachtree City for about 10 years. Peachtree City is one of those towns that a lot of black people. I just talked to a black guy um several months ago who still consider Peachtree City as a sundown town. But the thing
Mhm.
is, um, if you ask any black that has lived there any relative amount of time, they'll all tell you that it's a lovely place to be. Like
Oh, yeah.
one of my favorite areas that I've ever lived in. But the
Mhm.
cops there, yeah, they're vastly majority white, but they're so laid back because nothing goes on there. Like
Mhm.
the crime is
Nah, you right.
super low. Yeah,
You
it's
right.
super low. And so if there's nothing happening, they'll pull you over for a traffic violation, but a lot of times they'll just let you go because they don't care. They're looking for something more serious than that. So
Mhm.
location is huge, but in a place like Atlanta, where the crime rate is high, those cops aren't playing around. They're not playing around. They have no nonsense, and even on top of that, like I said, they're hiring bad cops on purpose.
Yeah,
That's
they
that's
on edge
But do
too.
you think? But do you think though every situation requires lethal force? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what
can
gets
it be a
me, bro.
different way to apprehend these guys, man, or get these guys to calm down outside of shooting them or beating the hell out of them or
So
whatever?
you,
Like,
I
it's got.
actually blame that. I blame that in particular. I actually agree with that, but I put that on the police department itself. Not even necessary as far as like the cop training. I put that as far as like physical fitness. Because look at our cops nowadays. It seems like at least bare minimum half of them are just as fat as everybody else out there. So when
Mhm.
you have cops that are less physically fit than what they should be when they go into a situation, they can't rely on their own natural abilities to apprehend a situation. They can't. They almost have to go to some kind of weapon. So if
Mhm.
I think we need to be, it should be like the military. I don't even know at this point. I don't even think the military is strict enough. They need more
It just need.
strict, yeah, they need more strict physical fitness training and be serious with that. Like if you can't pass these physical fitness tests, you're
Yeah.
fired. Like you
Same
just
thing
But
lose
like,
your
it's to the
job.
like
point where they
you do the
need
same
cops
thing
so
with the
bad.
fire department. You know, you gotta be in a certain kind of shape to be a firefighter, right?
Right, right.
Absolutely.
So you should do the same thing for the police department, even more so, I think.
I think it's
Yeah,
because they
absolutely.
need cops so bad too. And then the crazy part, y'all remember the Red Dogs in Atlanta? Do y'all know?
No.
Y'all know about
I'm
that?
not familiar.
So all right, so it's a real ATLian type of thing. So the Red Dogs was like a special task force, like how they got the gang task force now. That specifically they know so much about gangs,
Yeah.
signs, colors, and flags and all this. The Red Dogs was this group they were known for beating your ass. Like, don't run from them. They say if you run, don't make me run. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me chase you. But they were fit. These were buff guys, swole guys, in shape guys, where it was different. They weren't known for killing people. Though. You see what I'm saying? And that's just to your point. I get that too, and I still think it's a part of bad training as well. Because like you got that one cop, this pissed me off, who killed that teenager. There's a video. She stopped him. He was in the driver's seat, and she pulled out her gun and shot him. And she said, "I thought it was my taser." Do y'all remember that?
Oh that
That
girl,
shit
that
pissed
Yeah,
me
lady.
that's
Yeah.
off.
cool though, bro, because they
A
they're
taser don't
totally
weigh the
different.
same as a gun.
Right, totally different.
And
Yeah.
then you know what's in what. There's no way that you're standing there versus a teenager who's unarmed with backup and you panic like that and kill someone. That's bad training. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They need some type of mental training for under pressure. Then there's the cop, the lady who killed that guy in his apartment. I think this was last year, a couple years back. She killed. It was a Caucasian lady. She killed a black man in his apartment and said she thought he was an intruder. That shit made no sense.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that.
Yeah, his apartment was either above or below hers. First off, what the fuck? You know what I mean? How do you go into the wrong apartment? Then how do you get into an apartment that's not yours? And then, yeah, and then
That is
kill this guy.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that. Then I mean, of course, of course, these are the ones that are in the media, like you said, though. You know what I mean? There's the one where there's another teenager who ran, and as soon as he ran, they just shot him. He didn't have a weapon. Oh, no. I'm incorrect. This one, they said he did have a gun. It was in his hand. So the police officer's life wasn't in danger, but because he had a weapon, you see what I'm saying? It's up to the cop's judgment. So
Yeah,
if the
they
cop,
typically don't take a chance.
yeah, they could just say they panicked.
Okay,
You know?
but that's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna speak hypothetical right here. So I'm gonna say the Dylan Roof situation. If that was a black man, do he get to leave in the police car? You think if he killed a
What
church?
was that?
Okay, you know what I'm talking about? The white boy who killed all them black people in that church.
Oh
Dylan Roof.
yeah.
So you think that's a black man that killed a whole bunch of white folks at their church? Do you think he get to ride home in the police car, or they taking him out right there?
It depends how they catch him.
Yeah.
Did
So
he
I
turn
actually,
himself in?
I mean,
Go ahead.
they went and got him from my understanding, but like it was like, come on now, you done knocked off 13 people
Well, that not
in
necessarily
assassination style.
not
So
necessarily
like,
in gunfire, but that's we did have that situation. I think it was in Washington. No, it was in Kenosha, I believe, where that guy he ran through. I forgot if it was a parade or
yeah, it kind of
protest or
happened around the
something
George
like
Floyd
that.
time, right? It happened like right after George Floyd, I
And
think.
he it was a black guy. He ran through all these people and ran people over and killed a few of them.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
seen that.
situation right there. You know,
I
he just
seen
went to
that.
jail. He didn't get shot up or anything.
But see, that's the
But
thing about that too. Nobody follows up after a while. Like Brian Nichols, I always bring this up.
Oh yeah, the court.
Nobody ain't said nothing about Brian Nichols since I believe he's dead.
Yeah, they probably took
I'm
that
dead
out.
serious. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you ain't
It's
lying.
people like that where you would think they would have a Netflix documentary. You know what I'm saying? Because like
He got a
I said, this
Lifetime movie though, don't he? Don't he got
he
a
do.
movie on Lifetime?
Is he in it though?
I don't know. He ain't in it, but I
See,
think
that's
it's
my
about
point.
him.
When I was younger, I used to say, when black people kill people, you know, we go to prison for life or we disappear. When white people kill people, they get famous. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeffrey Dahmer and people like that. Like
Yeah.
there's multiple movies that are made about him. Like, you know, we know these people are alive, like Whitey Bulger, people who killed all these people and then snitched. The only person I know of that's big like that, that's black, was like Frank Lucas, who
Oh yeah.
Denzel played. But because he snitched
He
type of
snitched
thing.
though. That's why.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
different. But somebody like Brian Nichols, I don't believe he's alive. And
well,
then
personally,
he's still a cop.
I don't personally, as a community, I don't want that anyway. I don't want black murderers to be
To be
getting
famous. No,
famous.
I get. I'm just pointing out. I'm just pointing out. Like, I feel like so. If you go back, I don't know if you guys watch Dave Chappelle. He's like my favorite comedian. There was a story he told about this guy who was a cop, and something unfair happened to him. I don't want to butcher the story, but basically, he started killing cops. And basically, when they found him, he said verbatim, they Swiss cheese. Like he said, a bunch of cops showed up and they just put a whole bunch of bullet holes in this guy. And that type of stuff is like overkill. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see a situation with these trained professionals and they're just like, you know, the cop chased them, it was a shootout, the suspect is dead. And then when they say, yeah, he was hit 19 times and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to kill you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're not even trying to shoot him in the leg. Or if the person's armed, I understand more, you know what I'm saying? But still, you are the trained professional. But I understand you're afraid because this person is trying to take your life as well in that situation. But if they're not armed and they like fighting you or tussle you, where are your takedown maneuvers? Why are you not just slamming them on their neck or something? You know what I mean? Like they
But they're
still
they're
killing
not
them.
trained. They're not
Everything is
trained to
death.
fight, bro. They're
Right,
not
Yeah,
trained
everything.
to have.
they're
They're
not
not
really.
trained to do hand-to-hand combat, and that's what's
No,
wrong with a lot of them now. They're not trained to do none of that.
Yeah, personally, I believe it should be a requirement for them to like take jujitsu training or something like
Oh,
that.
something, bro.
Something like that.
Right. I
But
agree.
even just to kind of point out one little thing that you said, uh, about like shooting them in the leg. that is definitely not in their training. And I understand why. They're trained to hit center mass. Definitely.
I ain't seen the target yet that got legs on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I ain't
they
seen
are
the target
they're
yet that
trained to
got
hit
legs on.
they are trained to hit center mass. The reason they don't do something like, shoot them in the arm or the leg, because that's too risky. If they shoot them in center mass, that's the biggest target, best chance for hitting, because they don't want stray bullets going
right. They want
around.
to stop the threat. That
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. That makes a
yeah,
lot of sense.
especially if there happen to be other people in the area. The last thing they want to do is miss and end up shooting somebody else because they're trying to be soft and shoot them in the leg or something like that, or the
Yeah.
arm, shoot them in the hand. So they
I'm gonna be
are,
honest though.
yeah,
I feel like sometimes, bro, if you get into a situation with a cop and they shoot you and you survive, you probably shouldn't even go to jail, bro. You got shot. Mostly, like if you got shot, for real,
yeah,
like you get, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like
Like,
That knock off everything on it,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? You
That knock it
paid.
off.
You got your what do you call it? Just desserts? Shit.
yeah, like
You wake
especially if
up
you
in the
get shot
hospital.
like, yeah, if you get
You know
shot
what
like
I'm saying?
20 times and you
Yeah,
miraculously
Yeah,
that
survive.
shit
if I
like,
get
all
shot
right,
more
bro.
than 5 times, y'all gotta let me go, bro.
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie,
You
like
gotta let me
personally,
out of
if
this.
I was a cop and I did that and he survived, I'm like, hey man, he good.
Good.
Yeah.
What do y'all feel about the face mask thing? Because we didn't never. What do
Oh
y'all
yeah.
I get the ski mask. I get the ski mask part. I guess because of robberies and
It's ski
stuff.
masks and hoodies.
I'm saying,
Hoodies
do it
is
gotta be
ridiculous.
together, or is it just hoodies? By like, can I not just wear?
I
A
gotta
hoodie?
look up the specifics, but as of now, oh, I wonder was it ski mask plus hoodie?
So if it's ski mask plus hoodie, I mean, I can't really say nothing because
That
you
kind
know
of
what I'm
makes
saying.
sense.
That's
Yeah,
overkill.
If I'm a
yeah.
business owner and you walk in my store with a ski mask and hoodie on, I'm gonna look at you.
And I
Crazy.
think that's what it is in businesses. So I
Yeah.
mean, ski mask. Why are you wearing a ski mask
You're
inside
right.
of
You don't
business?
need a ski mask. I get that. You didn't want to wear a mask with COVID, so you don't need a ski mask. You
Right,
get what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
right,
so
right.
don't tell me you need a ski mask for anything. But if
But
it's
see,
just
knowing the young
hoodie,
kids and how ignorant they are, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, bro. My
oh no, you
bad.
good, bro.
Knowing the young kids, I feel like they're gonna be doing that shit, not taking it seriously if they don't take anything seriously.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're gonna
yes.
come in businesses on purpose with ski masks on. But the reason why they're doing this, of course, they're pointing it to uh the Lennox robberies, broad
Okay.
day. A bunch of teenagers just ran in with masks on, snatched shit, and just ran out the mall. This was happening over and over. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it happened crazy when all the rioting and stuff is going on, but then this happened a couple more times just casually. Groups of kids just run in, take shit, and leave.
I mean, but
Yeah,
that was their goal, bro. So like, what else they gonna do? I'm saying like the average Joe just gonna wear a hoodie, fine. But like, if I'm gonna rob a store, I'm gonna put on a ski mask and a hood. Like,
Right, and
so I'm
just
saying
do
like,
it.
you ain't
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
stop it regardless, because they already got breaking the law on their mind. That's
yeah.
their
And see, I
intention.
think a lot of people who may have an issue with this law, that's the point that right there that they're missing.
Right.
Like when they come up with these laws, they're just not randomly, arbitrarily coming up with, hey, let's just throw a hoodie in the ski mask for no reason, and like
Right.
because
No,
they're trying to
yeah.
say something. Like, no, they're looking at, okay, when these crimes happen, what tends to be the largest the largest group of attire that is worn? Oh, it's hoodies and it's ski masks. Okay, then let's target that attire. And because my job just did the same thing. Actually, a lot of warehouses are doing that right now but it's because of safety,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't allow people to wear earbuds listening to music, because you need to be able to hear all the forklifts and stuff going on.
Mhm.
Well, what
Mm-hmm.
people like to do, they like to wear hoodies and hide their
Earbuds.
earpieces.
Yeah.
So now we're like, okay, y'all can't even wear hoodies anymore. But because that's the typical attire. Something that you said earlier is, what'd you say? What'd you say about like not dressing a certain way?
Oh yeah. If you're gonna sell dope, don't dress like a dope dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like people know, and this is what I really don't understand. And I think this is a level of immaturity that
Mm-hmm.
the Black community has.
Mm-hmm.
Even Black people will sit there and say a criminal typically wears stuff like hoodies and stuff like that, and it makes sense. That's the most that's one of the most effective criminal attires to wear because it gives you a disguise. So
Yeah, and
if
if you got the
you
pouch, you
know,
can have your gun right there too.
yeah, so if you know, if you 100% are aware that you will be perceived as a certain thing from wearing just that in a
Right.
certain way, then don't wear it. Just
And
simply don't
that's a good point, and it's crazy because a huge problem that we have is we can accept it when it's someone else. We can't accept it when it's us.
wear it.
That's like the whole thing that we used to say to women when a woman would say, "Oh, just because I'm dressed this way." That Dave Chappelle did that bit as well.
Yeah.
Like just because I'm dressed like a slut, don't mean I'm a slut. Don't look at me as just ass and titties because that's what I'm showing off.
But that's all I
Well,
see.
yeah, it's at the same time. Like if you sagging your pants, I see both of your butt cheeks out. I see you with a do-rag or whatever. Like you're trying to look like a certain profile, I'm gonna assume you are that profile. If you
Yeah,
have on a
precisely.
police officer's uniform, I think you're a cop. You look like a cop.
Precisely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
Like,
I get it. Like people, those their typical response. Well, we should be able to wear what we want to wear, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
we
you
But
should.
should.
un,
No, we can't.
Because I'm saying, like, I'm saying, just because I got on certain stuff don't make me a criminal. Because
That's true.
you can walk in button up and everything, and you got some bad stuff on your mind, just like
That's
the
right.
next person. So I'm not going. I know I get what they saying, but you putting everything in one basket, bro. Like that ain't right. Because this guy can walk in a button up suit and tear down everybody.
yeah,
I agree. I
He can have
strongly
an
agree.
AK or a man. He can have whatever he got inside that suit and tear down the whole store. But you ain't even looking at him because he ain't got on a hoodie or a ski mask.
But
yeah. I
this is
mean,
the
the
same reason.
smartest, the
Go,
smartest
go
and
ahead.
most successful criminals out there are the ones that don't look like criminals.
Exactly. And that's why I be saying we
So,
gotta move
so
smarter
it's like,
in
so it's
both
damn if
ways.
it's
This
damn
helps
if
both
you do,
sides
damn
of
if you
our
don't.
people. You know what I'm saying? This is the same reason why you never heard of Andre 3000 getting robbed. And he just be walking the street.
He
You
don't
know
wear
he's
jewelry.
amassed millions,
He don't
but
wear
you know he
jewelry.
don't wear jewelry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of people that's on that same level. Like, why you walking around looking like a target? You're attracting it to you. Just like the people who are walking around looking like something else, they're gonna attract it to them. You know what I mean? A woman that walk around looking like a prostitute is gonna attract sex. A man that walk around looking like a gang member is gonna
Don't
attract
attract that
violence from the
stereotype.
opposite side or
Yeah.
profiling from the police that's looking for gang members. You know what I'm saying? So like you right, you shouldn't have to dress a certain way and you don't, but just be prepared. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me
Yeah,
wearing this shirt.
don't look crazy when something happened to you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's just like me
Yeah.
wearing this blue shirt and going to a known blood neighborhood.
Right.
Or you know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I should be able to wear this blue shirt. But yeah, you dumb. You know that's a blood neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you got a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying is right. We should have the freedom to express ourselves how we please, but we still also gotta be
You gotta be disciplined,
sure
bro.
enough to
To
know
know,
what's
you know
smart
what I'm
and what's
saying? You
not.
gotta know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Every
like me
situation ain't
being,
meant for your attire. You know what I'm saying? Like it
yeah, that's
makes
like me. Like I'm a supervisor at my job. That's like me just going in with all my anime shirts and stuff and like that, and they want me to
right,
wear their Aurora shirt to represent them, and I'm trying
right.
to
Yeah,
say, well, I should be able to represent myself the way I
Yeah.
want. It's like
right.
no, I'm a supervisor. I
Look
have to have
smart.
a sense of professionalism on me now.
Exactly. And then
Right.
that's another part of it too, bro. It's just about honor. Like, what message are you trying to send? You know what I'm saying? Like our people sometimes be so caught up with rebelling and trying to show that they not like conforming to the man that you losing focus of your whole fucking life. Like we be
I think
keeping
that's
up with the
human nature,
Joneses and
bro.
huh?
I think human nature make us rebellious. You know what I'm saying? Like you
True,
naturally do
true.
rebellious stuff growing up, just cause. Like
That's
they
true.
say
Just
don't
out of
do this, you don't
curiosity.
do it,
That's
bro.
childish though. That's
It is
childish. Like
childish. It
I
is
agree,
childish.
it is human nature,
But
but it's
most,
kind of what separates us from animals. Like technically we are animals, but the
yeah,
main thing that separates from animals is that we have the cognition to go against our instincts,
okay,
especially as we
It's
get
like
older.
I got you. But okay, so but who's committing most of these crimes or getting stereotyped? It's kids at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? They mind ain't even developed like that yet. So they doing childish things. You get what I'm
Well, that's
saying?
the parents' fault. Then I go back
Yeah,
to the
that
parents.
is. Yeah.
And that go
Yeah.
back to influence.
Yeah, that's
And
back to influence and
it's
everything
a full
else.
circle.
You know what I'm saying? So everything we saying, yeah, we got a right mind to know, okay, I'm not gonna wear this.
Right.
But we've been here. You know what I'm saying? This 17, 18, he got a natural rebellious mind. He gonna do what he wanna do with whatever. He gonna do the opposite of what somebody tell him to do. That's what we do as teenagers or young 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
It's the Ouroboros loop. I just want to use that word.
For real.
The Power Exchange.